Brock Purdy finally proved all the haters wrong, hanging 42 points on the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football without George Kittle, Trent Williams, or Brandon Ayuk playing at all in this game. So I want to dive into the film and see how Brock Purdy was able to hang 42 points on the Chicago Bears defense. Let's dive into the film. Okay, I'm going to do my best to let every play through, and then we'll break them down. You see here we motion down Kyle Juszczyk, confirm that it's man coverage by motioning him out wide. And we're supposed to just have a little skinny post or slant right here, but end up throwing a pick six. Worst play of the day by far, but let's look at it again. Okay, so in my opinion, I don't think this is Brock Purdy's fault. We're going to come out here in 21 personnel, right? 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Depends if you want to call Kyle Juszczyk a tight end or not. At first, he's playing that kind of slot role of tight end play, so technically it's 12 personnel, and then we rotate down and get into 21. But you see, we're going to motion Kyle Juszczyk over, and that confirms to Brock Purdy that they're in man coverage because this linebacker right here follows him over. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to motion Kyle Juszczyk out. That's going to guarantee that we have man coverage because he followed him out. And our primary read on this play, really our only read, is supposed to be this skinny post or slant from Jauan Jennings that's supposed to hit kind of in this window away from this robber right here and inside of this DB. Now, the reason I don't fully blame Brock Purdy here is this is his primary read. He really doesn't have anywhere else to go with the football, but he's got to know Jauan Jennings ran an awful route, so he can't just force the ball in there. Why do I say Jauan Jennings ran an awful route? Well, it's because Jauan Jennings is just going to stay vertical right here and then break inside. Not once does he ever press this DB's leverage, making him think he's going to go deep, and he never takes the inside that this DB's giving him to set himself up to body off the defender. He gets kind of lazy, runs straight, and then cuts in, and obviously any good NFL DB is going to break on that, calls the PBU, bats it into the linebacker's hands, and it's a pick six. Okay, now we're going to start getting to the good stuff with Brock Purdy. Right here you see we motion our guy over, and we're going to hit our tight end right up the middle, right through the seam on a little bit of a skinny post right there. Great throw and catch. Okay, let's break it down though. Pre-snap, we see that they're in what looks to be a quarter shell, right? But there's something really weird about it. If you notice, here at the top part of your screen, this is a linebacker. Well, we're not going to run quarters with a linebacker, hopefully, because most linebackers would get beat deep by any skill position on the field. So we know they're probably running some type of funky coverage, and the only way we can really decide that is by motioning someone over. So we're going to motion our slot guy over our H right here. I guess I should say H, not slot. Our H, our wing right here over, and that's going to tell us, okay, they're in man coverage. Makes sense. We've got a matchup we like, though. We've got their linebacker against our tight end, and we're going to trust our tight end to win over the middle. So that confirms it's not cover 3, not cover 4, but it's actually going to be man coverage. Okay, works with us because that means this guy is going to be on McCaffrey. That's kind of what you have to do against McCaffrey because he's so athletic, linebackers can't guard him. So makes sense. We're going to run the skinny post right inside and watch him do a much better job than Jauan Jennings of closing that space, getting inside the DB, and bodying him off in this football. And what a throw by Brock Purdy, putting it in a window in between 3 players. Now let's look at it from the end zone view because I don't think the All-22 does it justice. Great throw by Brock Purdy right there. Okay, now we're going to have one of Purdy's better plays of the day once again. You see we motion down our wing, get us in a bunch formation on this left side of the screen, fake the handoff, run some play action right here. Great throw, great catch right there to DeMarcus Robinson. Let's look at it from the other view now. Okay, what I immediately want you to realize right here is we're coming out in a 2x2 formation. 2x2 formation, we're oftentimes going to get zone coverage against because there's just so many different things that we can do, especially from this look to pick defenders and do things like that. Right here, pre-snap, this kind of looks like quarters once again. So what are we going to do? We're going to motion over our tight end, our H right here. Going to motion him over into a trips bunch formation on this left side of the screen. Now we're in 3x1. Now almost no one ever runs man coverage against 3x1, and that's confirmed to us here because no one followed him across the formation. This linebacker right here just shifted over a little bit to guard him. So what are we going to do? We're going to fake the play action. We're going to run him in between these 2 linebackers across the formation. And since they showed us it was cover 3 because this safety right here drew down, we're going to run Demarcus Robinson directly at this corner who has this outside third right here, and then we're going to break in using our body to keep leverage on him. And this whole middle of the field should be open because they're running cover 3 match, which means this DB right here is going to always be keyed in on Ricky Pearsall as long as he doesn't run a crosser across the field. So Pearsall is going to keep this outside third busy. Jawan Jennings releasing in the slot directly up the middle is going to keep the middle third busy, and it's going to draw him to the sideline. And then we're going to have this post on the backside wide open right here. Great job here. Great play call, right? We get them to bite down heavy on that play action. You see all these linebackers are biting down heavy. You'd like to see a little bit of a better throw by Brock Purdy for him to lead it almost a little more to the right here, but what you notice is Purdy got it out of his hand really, really early. Let's look at it from the end zone view. Watch how well this play action fake works on these linebackers, right? Get Jawan Jennings right there, and Purdy, great ball on the run, but like I said, you'd want it a little bit further away from the defender just to be a little bit safer. This next play is just a beautiful play call and great execution by this 49ers offense. This is by far one of my best plays of the day, just strictly from a play calling standpoint, and I'm about to break down why. Let's jump into it. So the first thing I want you to notice is we come out in a gun split back formation again, right? So 2 running backs in the backfield here. We're going to motion Christian McCaffrey out, borderline a slot wide receiver, so the defense is going to tell us a lot by that. Well, we're going to motion him back across and get him exactly where he wanted to be in this kind of trips look right here. Okay, well, what happened after we motioned him back across the formation? Well, something really cool happened. This corner right here went from playing right here to playing right here. And since no one followed McCaffrey, that tells us this isn't man coverage, it's actually zone coverage. And since this corner didn't stay backed off, but instead closed the space on this wide receiver, that tells us that he thought McCaffrey was going to be running like a quick out or something right here, telling us that he has a flat right here in cover 2. So that guarantees to us they're either running cover 2 zone or Tampa 2 zone. The only difference between Tampa 2 and cover 2 is this linebacker has to get more depth in Tampa 2, right? So he's going to be pushing farther back. So our one job is to make him think that we're throwing something behind him in this zone so that he will drop. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to run Christian McCaffrey over here to the flat to hold this defender. And then we're going to take Ricky Pearsall right here and we're going to run him on a deep post because we know the very first thing that this linebacker is going to check is Ricky Pearsall for something deep. He's going to check and see if Pearsall breaks out, then he can stay looking over the middle. But if Pearsall goes deep, he knows he has to get back to help out with anything coming in between these 2 split zone safeties right here, right? Or half field safeties, I should say. So what we're going to do is we're going to run Ricky Pearsall on that post, and then we're going to take our tight end and we're going to fill him perfectly in this space that's opened up by this linebacker getting out wide, this linebacker getting out wide, and this linebacker getting deep. And this is an amazing play call. I mean, a top tier play call. Great understanding by Brock Purdy, understanding what the defense is doing and how to execute this play to perfection. Great to see that. Okay, now I'm going to just let one of Brock Purdy's rushing touchdowns play through because I think this shows kind of why you're willing to pay a guy like Brock that much money. They give you cover 3 match, nothing's open, and he makes a play with his legs to get you in for the touchdown. Okay, this next play right here is going to be a filthy route by Ricky Pearsall. Great play call. Once again, great throw by Brock Purdy. Let's break it down. Like I mentioned, this was really just a great play call and great route by Ricky Pearsall, but there's a little more to this play and the reason it works so well. So what I want you to immediately realize here is they're coming out in a defensive formation that makes it look like they're trying to stop the run, maybe running man coverage or cover 3 because they only have one high safety. There's not much they can do out of it, but you know they're trying to stop the run because they have an odd front right here. So what we're doing as an offense right here is we're noticing a few things. One, they have a corner lined up on our tight end. It's not the best matchup for the tight end trying to get open against the corner, but it's also not a good matchup for the corner trying to handle the tight end if the tight end were to body him off on some type of route, right? So we're keeping that in mind. We have a safety lined up on the slot receiver right here. You don't really love that either. And also the biggest factor to this play is Christian McCaffrey. There's no DB accountable for Christian McCaffrey on this play. Well, all game long, the Bears showed us that they weren't going to play man on Christian McCaffrey with the linebacker because he's just going to eat you up on Texas routes and ins and outs and everything there is possible. You can't guard Christian McCaffrey with a linebacker. So, okay, this tells us we're probably going to have zone coverage, one high safety, cover 3, right? And that's exactly what we're going to get. But this corner right here has the responsibility of getting up if it's not a run play. So he's going to bite down a little bit too hard on this run fake right here. We're going to run a fake crosser and pull him back across the formation right here. But then with Ricky Pearsall, we're going to fake like we're going vertical on this DB. And since he's playing a third on this side of the field, he's going to take that, but then we're going to undercut him as soon as he flips his hips. And this DB immediately panics because he goes, oh wait, I've got to handle that because my deep safety right here is worried about all the rest of the field and probably helping out right here a little more because he's stacked up onto the weak side of the formation expecting a run, right? So this safety is going to panic, flip those hips, try to get inside. He's going to slip, and we're going to immediately break the route back out on kind of just a 20, 30 yard zig right here. And this is the dirtiest thing I've ever seen. And Ricky Pearsall just destroys him. And this is a great throw by Brock Purdy, not trying to zip it in there and cause an incompletion, but making a 50-yard throw just about. Great job by them. Okay, this is the final play we're going to be looking at in this video. I don't want to make it too long for you guys. Just want to show y'all that Brock Purdy's playing legit football right now. Let's break it down. Okay, this is 4th and 3 for the game. You see we come out here in 11 personnel, motion our one tight end on the field across the formation, identifies to us immediately that we have man coverage, or at least some type of match disguise coverage here because 9 Brisker follows that tight end across the formation. Well, we remember, if they're in man coverage with one high safety, it's probably cover one man with a robber. And that robber, because we don't want any linebacker guarding Christian McCaffrey over the middle one-on-one, is going to be keyed in on Christian McCaffrey. So if this is cover one, we want to run something over the middle on the other side of the field from McCaffrey. We're going to take McCaffrey out of the play so that we can take 2 defenders out of this play. And all we need here is a great ball from Brock Purdy. Now, if it's cover 3 match, it's kind of going to be the same thing because they have man marking principles in match coverage, but we're just going to have to see. You see here, we're going to motion over Ricky Pearsall. Now we're going to have him with inside leverage on this DB, and that's a heck of a throw by Brock Purdy. Let's look at that from the end zone view. Man, Christian McCaffrey really opens up this entire offense when you see him taking 2 guys out of the play, and Brock's hitting throws like this. Thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think, and see ya.